Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today, I want to talk about terrific altcoins with huge potential. And this is a follow-up video to one that I created not too long ago, maybe a few days ago, which was very popular. I mentioned a lot of altcoins that I really love, and this one is a follow-up to it. So there's going to be a lot more altcoins I cover. So thanks for tuning in as well. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin and some of the things that's going on today. So as always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new to streams every day. I think I'm trying out today at 11:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter, especially Twitter, and now Instagram too. And that my Instagram has been blowing up. So make sure you follow it, and also Facebook. All right, guys, let's do this. Those of you guys that are here, welcome. Let me change my screen here. Okay, so Bitcoin, again, all of a sudden had a drop this morning. And again, I think this is basically due to whales or whoever that just wants to take advantage and liquidate the longs. This is like an easy game for them. And I've been mentioning this for quite some time now, even last night. You know, you could see this wicked down wick over here, right? Where Bitcoin fell down to about 58,000 all the way from 59,000. Oh, that brought some pain to longs. And same thing this morning. Like all of a sudden, Bitcoin just boom, went down to 57, as low as 57.3, and now it's recovering, right? And if you look at the longs liquidation, they don't look good. They don't look good. You can see today another 120 million liquidated. Yesterday was 107 million. The day before 141 million. The day before 385 million. This is the problem with leverage. Doesn't matter if you use 100, 50, 20, 10, 5. If you utilize leverage, you could get wrecked. You could get liquidated. These whales that are doing this, who knows who they are? Maybe they're the exchanges themselves, because they're collecting the fees regardless. I mean, they're getting really good at this because they know that there's a lot of greedy people, a lot of new players in the game that keep falling for leverage because there's so many influencers out there that keep saying, oh, this is such an easy game. You know, you follow me, you utilize leverage, you go make a ton. And guess what? They keep getting liquidated because they have no idea what they're doing. So this is why I always say, do not play with leverage. Do not try to day trade. You're going to get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked, and this chart, this clearly shows you. Within the last month, you could clearly see the longs liquidations versus the short liquidations, right? The longs definitely are not winning, and that's because I think most of this is from the newcomers into the space that really just have no idea what they're doing. And unfortunately, there's more and more people that's falling for this, so be very careful. This happens all the time, out of the blue. You can't guess it. It just happens, right? So right now, definitely name of the game is to be diversified, dollar cost average, and HODL. That's it. No stress, no worries. We know things are going to go higher and recover, so you don't have to worry about getting wrecked and liquidated. So that's the first point I want to make because it just happened again this morning. Another thing I want to talk about is my giveaway, and we'll bring this up a lot more. The entries are exploding now, exploding. 156,000 entries. Of course, I think in terms of people count, 5,000 or 6,000 people. So thanks for not tuning in, but for joining. Obviously, follow me on all the social media and guess the secret code. And there's a lot more coming, a lot more prizes that's coming to this. So you don't want to miss it. That is pinned. This is pinned on my Twitter page, so in case you don't know where to get this, go to Twitter. It is pinned on my Twitter. All right, so now let's dive right in. With today's sudden drop, a lot of altcoins cooled off. Like all of a sudden, now not everything cooled off, but some all of a sudden received double-digit losses. So some of them I will bring up today because I think they're fantastic holds. But there's others that are in green that I still think are fantastic hold. There's just so many projects out there that is really fantastic. So I'm going to bring them up. And like I said at the beginning, this is a follow-up to this video. Actually, I created that just a day ago called Sleeping Altcoins. It feels like it's forever. But yeah, I mentioned about 11 altcoins in there. So I'm going to avoid talking about the same altcoins because I know most of you guys watched that already. So if I skip over anything that I've talked about before, don't think that I just bailed on them. It's just because I just talked about them. So this is a follow-up to that video. So if you didn't watch it, make sure you watch it at the end of the stream. Because that's a good one. I go over a lot of projects, and I'll probably quickly glance over them too. So just so you guys are aware. All right, so let's do this. Let's go down the list. What are some terrific altcoins that I think have huge potential that you may want to put into your portfolio? Well, let's start out with the big boys, okay? And keep in mind my 50-25-25 rule. You know, you're supposed to have 50% in Bitcoin. So I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin, but it's supposed to be there already. So I'm just assuming that you guys have that already. Now, out of the 25% big caps, there's a lot of good options. There's a lot of good options. Ethereum, obviously, is a great option to be in your big cap holdings. But I got to say, man, I love BNB. Regardless if it keeps going up, I love it. And it is rewarding. Up 30% today. And I mean, this week up 4% today, and it is now above $60 billion. And why do I love Binance Coin? Well, what else can you say? The Coinbase IPO, which is coming out in 8 days, that will value Coinbase at 100 billion plus. And you know what? Coinbase's volume, in terms of their usage and trading, is well above Coinbase. It's not even close. It's not even close. So you got to figure, if Coinbase is going to be worth $100 billion, is Binance only worth $60 billion? No, that is what people are looking at. And there's another exchange I want to mention that people are like, doing one and one and trying to put it together. If Coinbase is worth $100 billion, Binance should be at least $200 billion, $300 billion. They have their own chain, they have own DEX, they have multiple exchanges around the world. And of course, they have all these DeFi projects coming on board to Binance Smart Chain, and they have a great burning mechanism, which decreases circulating supply and the overall supply in general. So it just makes it very, very, very enticing and attractive. So Binance Coin is definitely one that I think is going to go much higher, despite the fact they're already sitting at number 3. I think they're still going to go much higher than where they are now. All right. Second, this may be a surprise for some of you guys. And some of you guys will call and say, I'm eating humble pie and that I should take this back and this and that. Now I'm going to go on record and say that I think right now, you should have some exposure to XRP. There, I said it. I think right now is time to have some exposure with XRP in that big cap allocation within your portfolio. And why do I think that? Well, I saw this article and I really can't deny it. I tend to agree. And this is coming straight from a trader. Now, you guys know I'm not a big TA guy, but this makes a whole lot of sense. So just take a look at this. XRP/BTC is about to break out of a 3-year trend, 3+ year trend. Zero exposure here seems irresponsible. When this SHT coin starts to pump, it makes vertical moves, aka all at once for a burst. Still very early. And what is he talking about? Well, look at these bursts that has happened in the past. When the XRP army FOMOs in, they FOMO in hard. Very, very hard. And they cause so much FOMO where CNBC gets Brian Kelly to go on air and starts talking about it, and everyone, including their mothers, are buying XRP. And that's why you have these vertical rises, right? And right now, you look at where XRP is, it doesn't even really show up. So I think at this point, I agree with this trader that having zero exposure in XRP can possibly hurt you. So I do think adding some XRP would not be a bad idea. This is not my endorsement to say, oh, all in on XRP or XRP is somehow fundamentally great now? No, but I do think that having a little bit, remember being diversified, right? Having a little bit will probably help you. Will probably help you. So the next one, yes, I said it, have a small exposure in XRP. All right, now moving down the list, I'm going to move down a little bit further. Now, obviously, I've talked about some of these projects I like. I'm skipping over because I said I've already covered them in a previous video from a day ago or a day and a half ago or whatever, and that's one of them is Theta, which is still a big cap, kind of steady, but again, I'm not going to go too much into it. Another one I cover is VeChain. I have to talk about it because I love VeChain so much, but again, I'm not going to go over it, or Luna. These are ones I really like. But I'm going to stop next at number 23, and that's Solana. I think Solana has so much good... Andy, MTRG, and someone asked about Kraken. No, someone asked about Ethereum. Yeah, if you stake in Ethereum 2.0, you can't unstake it. You have to wait until the beacon chain is out. So hopefully you knew that ahead of time. But yeah, it's stuck there. MTRG, I'm going to look at that later. But I'm going to stop next at Solana because I think Solana is a terrific blockchain, very fast, very high speed, and a lot of dApp makers are coming on board to Solana, either moving away from Ethereum or they just started their dApp on Solana. And just to give you a quick idea, just looking at the dApps that's riding on top of it, I know a lot of you guys have heard of some of these, like Serum, Alf, look at Akash, MXC Exchange, OKX, Anchor, Arweave. I mentioned about a storage play, Arweave. They partner up with them, Audius. And you know, the list goes on and on and on, right? They have a lot. Parse, a lot of people will ask about Parse. Yeah, they have a lot. So that's why I think Solana is definitely a great blockchain. I think they have been doing tremendously well. They have been moving up the charts. But, you know, when you look at the top 10, you know, promising blockchains or the leaders of this space, I would definitely put Solana in there. And I would argue they're probably within the top 5 rather than the lower 5 out of the top 10. So, yeah, I think Solana is definitely a good hold. Today, they're down a little bit, 4% due to the Bitcoin drop. But still, I think even at 6 billion, they have good potential and they can move higher than where they are now. All right, so now moving down, we'll move down a little bit further. I love Cosmos, but I'm not going to talk about them right now. I am going to stop here at Neo. Now, Neo is another blockchain project that pretty much stayed dormant for the last 3 years, except they've been coming up really, really rapidly recently. So you could see for the week, they're up about 36%. And 8% today. So they are definitely moving up. So what's going on with Neo? Well, we've been waiting for Neo to transition to Neo 3.0 for quite some time. And looking at this, they officially launched their testnet. I have always mentioned about how they have so many preview versions. And finally, after preview 5, they have decided to launch their testnet. And this testnet includes significant upgrades such as their own file system, their own Oracle, so they're not going to be dependent on Chainlink. And there's other things. There's native contracts. It's faster. When Neo 3.0 comes out, it's supposed to be more decentralized. So Neo, you know, the foundation stops being a governing body. There's a lot to Neo 3.0. So they've been working very hard at this. And finally, they have this release version 1. Now, I don't know if they're going to have release version 2, 3, 4, 5, just like the preview versions. I don't know how long this is going to go for, but they are building towards Neo 5, and a lot of people are or Neo 3, I should say, and a lot of people are very excited about it. So I got to throw Neo in there because they're coming back from the dead, and look at them now. They're at 4 billion. They're not close to their peak from 2017, which placed them at $180. I think it went up even above $200 at one point, but they're getting there. They're coming back. So I'm going to say put Neo in your portfolio too, because I think that if Neo 3 comes out to be within this year and, you know, they do everything they promise, well, this could be a really solid blockchain. Plus, they're already funding projects that are in the DeFi space and the NFT space. For example, Flamingo is one that's funded by Neo that is also in the DeFi space. So Neo could really do well for the remainder of this year. So that's the next one, Neo. Now, moving down the list a little bit, I'm going to stop right at Kusama, which I've talked about before. And they're actually down right now, down 15% for the week, 1% for a day. So actually, this is, I think, a pretty good pickup period. And I just saw this morning, and that is this. Tether's USDT is now going to launch on Kusama first and then Polkadot. And this is pretty significant for both of these chains because if you want to thrive with DeFi, you got to have support for stablecoins. Now, traditionally in the past, if you don't have stablecoin support, then you would have to wrap them and come out with some wrap or synthetic version of the stablecoin, which is just complicated and you just don't need it. So you want native support for stablecoins, and that's what they're getting. They're getting the biggest one. So besides USDT coming to Kusama and Polkadot, there's parachain auctions right now that the dApp makers can try to win and create their own parachain, and after that, then you can move to Polkadot. So there's a lot of things going on with Kusama, and they have been going up quite a bit recently, but they're taking a breather right now. So again, Kusama is a test net, basically a test network for Polkadot. So the two are very, very entwined. So that's the next one, Kusama. Now, moving down the list a little bit further, I'm going to bring up another old blockchain from back in 2017 days, and that is Zilliqa. And I'm set to do an interview with Zilliqa later this week. In fact, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Zilliqa is up 10%, 11%, down 6% today. And Zilliqa is one of those in fact, if memory serves, they're the very first blockchain to fully implement sharding. Now sharding is very popular. Everyone is talking about sharding in terms of making their blockchains faster. ETH2 is also, but Zilliqa, as far as I remember, is the very first, and they're coming back in a big way. In fact, they have broken through their 2017 high, so that's very, very impressive, and they continue to go up further. And if you look at Zilliqa's page, they have a lot of things going on. They funded unstoppable domains, utilizing domains for wallet addresses and now for web pages, right? So they funded that. They have an improvement protocol that's coming out, which increases staking and also gives you a governance token farming mechanism so that if you do stake, you could get a synthetic version of it to play around with in DeFi, so you don't have to unstake. And there's other things that they're working on, native contracts and other things. So Zilliqa seems to be on top of things too, right? They could definitely come back in a big way. I mean, you could argue they have already. So yeah, I think Zilliqa is also a good hold at this point. I mean, there's a lot of blockchains right now, right? And when I say blockchains, I mean like smart contract chains. And there's a lot of them that's coming back, and people are looking at these because they're looking at the big dogs, first of all, like Ethereum and Cardano, Polkadot, Binance Chain. They're looking for cheaper alternatives, but also they're looking at it, they're understanding that these are like the foundations of dApps, right? The foundation is very, very important. So I think a lot of people are realizing, the use case or utility or the value proposition, I guess, for these smart contract plays is enormous. It's enormous. So next one is Zilliqa. Now, moving down the list a little bit, I'm going to stop by a coin that I wasn't a big fan of, but now I've turned the corner, and that is Dent. And especially now because they're down 18% today. They have been flying high. 24% for the week. Shows you how high they've been flying. Despite the fact they're down 21% today, they're up 25% for the week, right? And that's because I looked at Dent and I'm like, this company actually really is trying. They're doing a lot of things to really try and make their decentralized mobile network thrive. And here's a post from them that was from not too long, about a week ago. And they also launched the first global eSIM mobile data reseller platform here, so that if you have extra data, you could actually sell it, other people go buy it, and it's a really unique, it's a data marketplace for mobile data that you can sell and buy and resell and profit from, or just take advantage of. But in addition to that, they have a lot of things going. It's really catered for people that's really on the go, or people that's simply fed up with wireless networks in general. So I think Dent is really working at it really, really hard. So I've turned the corner on Dent, and I think right now, especially since they're down 20-something%, could be a good pickup period. Now, moving down the list, something that is not down, but I've said I've loved this project ever since I discovered them, and that's Helium. They are up almost 100% today, this week, and they're up 21% today. Now, what is Helium? Helium is creating a low power, like Wi-Fi mesh network. That's the best way to look at it. They're basically allowing people to have a miner, which is really like an antenna, and creating this wireless network globally. And you could use that network for many things like IoT devices or your smartwatch or whatever else there is that needs to utilize it. And you, as a miner, gets rewarded for that. And, ever since I discovered it, I'm like, this is a great idea. And if you look at it, they already have almost 26,000 hotspots, and that's like worldwide, and they're really big in the United States too, and created by the founder of Napster as well. So when I discovered them, I think I created a dedicated video, and people were like, WTF, like, who is this? They've been around for a while, but when I created that video about Helium, they were at like $4. Now they're at $20, and that was only like 2 months ago, or maybe a little bit shorter than that. So Helium is definitely rocking it. Now people are paying attention to what they're doing, and they also have fantastic backers, some of the biggest investment companies out there. So yeah, don't sleep on Helium. They're definitely picking up, but even at 1.5 billion, still pretty low compared to some of the other projects out there. All right, lastly, the one last project I want to talk about. If you scroll down, I think it's on page 2. And I'm going to stop right here at Kucoin Token. And I've been talking about Kucoin Token a lot in the past. I just got done talking about Binance and how the Coinbase IPO will basically evaluate Binance a lot higher. If you look at Kucoin, also, a lot of US residents are moving to Kucoin because they have no access to Binance and no access to a lot of these other exchanges. So Kucoin's volume is exploding right now. There's a lot of great tokens that's being offered too. A lot of great projects, I should say, is offering their tokens on there. And they have been exploding. They're nearing $10, almost 86% up for this week. So that's the reason why I like Kucoin, because they're very similar to Binance. They basically copy Binance, but to try to improve it. They have a great burning mechanism. There's actually a dividends program just by holding KCS. And also they have a lot going. They have new tokens being listed all the time. They have the derivatives program. They have a staking program as well. And plus, if you look at their volume versus Coinbase, they're not that far away. So if Coinbase is worth 10 billion, I mean, KuCoin being worth 2, 3, 4 billion like back in the day, that's not unreasonable, and they're still under $1 billion. So I think KuCoin is also a fantastic hold at this point. I think they're going to go very, very far. All right, so that's the whole list. These are projects that I haven't really covered before, especially in that last video. So again, if I skipped over anything that I've covered before, don't think I just jumped on a bandwagon, because I'm trying to present new things for you guys. I'm not trying to talk about the same projects all the time. But I think these ones are fantastic holds, and I think they could go far. Okay, now before I get into Q&A, I do have a new sponsor today. They're very interesting. This is for people that really love to gamble. And there's this project called Coinsloot. So their project is basically you're gambling, you're buying a loot box that could be worth more than what you're putting in. So again, for people that really want to take a risk, or you have some extra tokens and you want to take a risk, you could do so. For example, here's one where it's $10 to play, and you can autoplay, try for free here. So let's just say you did deposit $10 in of USDT, and then you get randomly, you get selected a loot. So here, you get $10 worth of Ave back that you could collect, right? So this is what it is. It's a game, but of course, you look at some of the other winnings here. You could win $30 of 0x, or $14 a swipe, or $500 a maker. Of course, they don't come out very often, right? So they're combining gamification with crypto, with almost like, opening a pack, kind of situation. So that's what Coinsloot is all about. So if you're interested, check them out. Their URL and their Twitter is in the description of this video. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me turn to you guys for some Q&A. Man, it's hot. It is hot in my room here. I just jammed my finger on my desk. That hurts. All right. I missed some super chats from before. The $10 one was something like manufacturing or something. Whoever sent a $10 one at the beginning, I'm sorry, I don't remember it. Maybe you can chime in again. So Anvil asked about CFX, Conflux Network, nearing $1 billion. Where are they at? They're on Binance. Scaling decentralized economies across protocols and borders enables secure and interoperable flow of assets and data to create internet value. So they're like a layer 2. Uh-oh. 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 You guys see what I'm seeing right here? That is a problem. That is a problem. Yeah, seems like there's some kind of layer 2 solution that enables interoperability between chains and helps with asset and data sharing. Can't tell you more than that. I mean, but F2 Pool being a partner, that raises some questions there. You may have covered in the past about Student Coin. I don't know. I think Student Coin is like way too hyped up right now. I don't know what they're valued at. I don't know if it's out already. Yeah, I mean, they're fully diluted is at 231 million, and they could definitely go higher. But yeah, Student Coin is the first platform that allows users to design, create, and manage personal and startup NFTs and DeFi tokens. Why is it called Student Coin? It doesn't even make any sense. I think that's a horrible name. You think Student Coin would have to do with education or something to do with education, but instead this is more like a platform that launches your tokens and stuff. I mean, I like it, but I don't like the name. Can it go up more? Sure, it could definitely go up more. Injected Protocol, they kind of died down. They're like I remember they're in a synthetic token creation, right? No, I'm sorry. They're a DEX for derivatives and synthetics. So, most people just don't get it, right? Like, you start talking to someone about trading a synthetic oil or synthetic, token of something. It's only a very small niche of people that would do that, and it's questionable whether or not it's really necessary at that, So I don't know. Jim, I don't know what CryptosRUs is. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not, but okay. Pope, yeah, this is what I'm saying. You know, if you give attention to the FUD, it just gives them more power. There will always be FUD or FUDders or haters. And if you keep chiming in, it just adds to it. It adds their ammunition. So if you know it's false, just ignore it. Andy, I didn't mean you had to give another super chat. You could have just chimed in, but stablecoin pegged to electricity rather than fiat. That sounds horrible. That sounds horrible, man. Supercharged Ethereum for financial internet is the most decentralized, fastest Ethereum sidechain. Okay, so they're not just about stablecoin. They are a layer 2 solution. dApps don't have to be costly. Okay, so you could run dApps on there. Yeah, this Meta stable currency, I've seen this before. So if you're saying this is pegged to electricity, I think that's a horrible idea. I know electricity is stable, but still, I don't know, man. But I don't think that's the big thing. The big thing is they're a fast scaling side chain, and it does seem like they have some good partners: Harmony, Elrond, Anchor, even Polygon. Even though they compete with Polygon, I have looked at this before. Yeah, they are a small cap, but they're not on any good exchanges. So I'll just put that on the maybe list there. Maybe list. Yeah, that Adam, I'm not gonna look at that. It looks way too gimmicky there. Fallout, I'm pretty sure I looked at this. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, blockchain confidentiality by trusted computing, trustless privacy preserving cloud computing. So a privacy cloud computing play. I guess that's okay. It's better than privacy transactions, which the IRS will not be able to tax and they hate. But if this is for computing, maybe. But I don't know. It still seems like everything is privacy preserving, so it could be good, but I'm going to stay away from it. Rubik instant trades for custom token creations. Okay. There's a lot of projects out there that have custom token creations now, so I don't have much thoughts on them. Safe Haven. I heard Safe Haven was built on VeChain, so that's good. But yeah, I don't think Safe Haven. I would not use them. They're a relative new project. You know, it's unproven whether or not their system really works. If you have a ton of crypto that you want to give to your family if you pass away, make sure you take some precautions right now. Put your seed phrase or your recovery phrase. Put it in a lockbox somewhere. Have a will. Make sure that your family gets it. Leave some instructions or go to a custodian and have them take care of it. I would not trust a crypto company to give that info to my family afterwards. Not right now. Not right now. Charles just tweeted about ADA Project Scan Trust. How does it affect VeChain? It doesn't. It doesn't. Nothing affects VeChain. If others are in the supply chain space, you got to value them by what they're good at, partnerships or adoption, usage, right? Nothing competes with VeChain on all those fronts. They have the closest ties to some of the biggest Chinese-based companies, and not even Chinese-based, just companies in general. That's already utilizing VeChain. So nothing in terms of supply chain or anything else that competes head-on with VeChain. I would say, yeah, don't worry about it. BCUG. Blockchain Cuties Universe. I'm assuming that you're like a creator of this, or you're a founder of this. It looks ridiculous to me. Blockchain Cuties Universe. What? That's a horrible name. Couldn't you come up with a better name? All right. Anyways, first multi-chain collectible game with adventures. There's a lot of games, but multi-blockchain, I'm assuming It's on Ethereum and some others. So kind of a mix between you know, CryptoKitties and some other ones. Yeah. You know, I gotta say, I like the website. I do like the website quite a bit. And of course, they're involved with NFTs. Let's look at the marketplace. Yeah, you can buy a lot of it. Okay. It's still a horrible name, though. Still a horrible name. Wouldn't be something I would invest right now. VThor, I like VeChain. If you like VET, you like VeChain, you have to like VThor. VThor has been moving quite a bit, actually more than VeChain. So, as for retesting descending triangle, I don't really care about that right now. I look at the macro factors, and VeChain is going to explode. Oh man, I have $1,000 extra for mid and small cap. Any ideas? This whole video was giving you ideas, man. so rewind. This whole video is about giving you ideas of what's good to pick up, and also I've created countless other videos. So you have to decide. You have to do your own homework and decide. NU and keep merging. Okay. New Cipher and Keep Network. I don't know what Keep Network is. Builders of TB. Okay, so they create synthetic BTC for you to use and with BTC. And New Cipher is about creating privacy stuff. So I don't even know how that relates. Maybe it helps you hide your BTC better. I don't know. Not really a fan of both. Unibright, possibly deal with Google, Target, Microsoft, in addition to Coca-Cola. You know what? Besides Unibright, there was another one that someone brought out, like a retailer app. That seems to be like really on fire in terms of forming partnerships. They have blown up recently. I have looked at Unibright before. Yeah, I have looked at them before. The thing is about those partnerships, I don't know if those are legit. Because I've seen other projects say that they're working with Target and Google and Microsoft too. They could be light partnerships, and who knows what they're really doing, right? But yeah, I don't know. I gotta say, I just don't know enough about Unibright to really give you a good take on them. So I have to do more research into them. But they have been blowing up. And that's despite the fact they're not on any good exchanges. That's even more impressive. So, all right, that's a maybe pile. That's a maybe pile for me to look at. George, you have a promo code? Yes, I do. If you want to sign up with Kucoin, I have a affiliate link in the description of this video. Someone is asking about Pitbull. Any thoughts on Community Coin? Let's see. If it shows up, no. Pitbull.community. Community-driven project that is rug-proof. Buy tokens, hold it, spread the word. Yeah, see, I don't like projects where as soon as you go to it, they tell you, okay, this is how you'll get rich from it, and this is what Pitbull is doing. As soon as you look at it, they're like, okay, so we're gonna give 2% back to the holders. We're going to burn 50% of it, and we're go do this. We're go 2% fee on sell trades added to liquidity pool. Okay, locked in forever. So they're gonna lock in stuff. I mean, there's too much. There's too much that they're trying to get you to buy it or hold it. You know, a project shouldn't be, a project's token shouldn't go up because of those things. Those are benefits, but you got to say what problem they're solving. Like what big thing that they're trying to do. And this whole website right now is about token economics. I have no idea what this project is doing. I have zero ideas. So no. And again, yeah, talking about slippage on PancakeSwap, how to buy it. What does this project do? Roadmap number 1, new website, branding, social media channels. So the only thing they have done so far is to come up with a new website and branding and have people to buy it without knowing what it's for. So that's a horrible project to invest in. I'm sorry, M2. You're probably involved with that project, but yeah, no. Any crypto-friendly banks you recommend? Well, I'm talking to Celsius. Hopefully I can get something done with them. They seem to be very legit. Alex seems to be a good entrepreneur that knows what he's doing. So Celsius. Also, of course, BlockFi comes to mind, but there's a lot of FUD about BlockFi recently. And I think those are legit concerns. So yeah, I would say look at Celsius. But wait until I have a partnership with them first before signing up. Yeah, I've seen Essentia before. They're like a financial trading app. I didn't like the fact because they were pumped up and dumped and up and dumped quite a bit. So I want to see that stabilize first. But I did actually even do a sponsor segment on them not too long ago. But there was just too much volatility at this point. So I would say wait until it bottoms out. I have 100 gaming token voucher by Animoca. Will give me any returns. Well, just hold it. If you can redeem for Game E, then yeah, just hold that. Because I think anything in the Animoca brands, I think, is pretty good. Varsity, still not sold on Varsity. Still not sold on them. A lot of people got hyped up on Varsity. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the big appeal is. Sidecoin, just like all the not stable coins, storage coins came down a little bit, rightfully so, because they've gone up so much. But out of all of them, I still like Arweave the best. I think because their partnership with Solana, they are the backbone. They're the storage backbone for Solana. That is huge. No one else can say that. So I like Arweave the best for storage plays. Any idea why Holochain is on Coinbase? A lot of projects isn't on Coinbase because they held ICO and Coinbase wants to make sure they don't get in trouble. So that's the reason why. And the reason why BTC is stuck this long, I mean, no particular reason. You gotta realize that sometimes BTC just stays stagnant until it doesn't. Right now we've been blessed with so much movement, but look at previous times. Like look at this time when Bitcoin was stuck under 10,000. This is multi-months, like 3 months. And then it had a little movement, came right a bit down. This is another few months. And even this period right here, and this period right here, right? And even this period right here, these are months, multi-months. You got to think about the opposite, that we've been blessed with Bitcoin, stuck in this range while altcoins are exploding. So don't be complaining about Bitcoin having stability around $60,000. This is a fantastic thing. And when it's ready, just like all these other periods, when it's ready, it's going to have big ups. So no concerns right now. And this actually, I think, is a good thing. DAFI? I have no idea what DAFI is. Let's see what DAFI is. What terms? Why do I have to accept it before I even look at the website? Create synthetics to reward networks for long-term users. Solves the biggest issue with decentralized economies by rewarding users later instead of earlier. I don't know if that's actually a good thing. Why would users stick around to be rewarded later instead of earlier? Create synthetics to reward networks. Yeah, it's not really appealing to me, to be honest. Next question: Keeper DAO versus Badger DAO. I don't particularly like either one. I don't really like DAOs in general, to be honest. When looking at TA charts, what's your favorite time frame? If you go care about what's coming up, like within the next few hours, you know, I would say look at the 15-minute. You look at a 1 hour for what's coming later in the day. You look at a 4 hour what's coming tomorrow and next day, and then, you know, that's how I look at it. BSKT launch a Uniswap. Value backed by stablecoins is stakeable for passive. I don't know. I think I looked at Unis basket swap before. What's on tracked? Okay. There you go. All right, I think that's it. Too much. Just too much Q&A. So to end it, you know what? Bitcoin is fine, right? But we did have that sudden drop. So again, liquidations happen. Do not be too greedy with going longs. It happens all the time. But some altcoins did drop a little bit, which means that there's good deals to be had. So I covered a few projects today that I haven't really covered before. So, hopefully it helps you guys decide what to put in your portfolio, and check out my previous videos too. I cover a lot of altcoins all the time. I am a Chainlink fan. So yes, I like Chainlink. Yeah, Mantra DAO. They're bringing up something called Zenit tomorrow, their own launchpad. I looked at Mantra DAO, their financial app too. Everyone is coming out their own launchpad now because that's a new thing to do. Because IDOs are hot, and these launchpad products, they want to, get money from the projects or fees. So yeah, there's a lot of them out there. All right, guys. No, Market. Is it Market? I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong. No, don't worry about that coin. Don't worry about it at all. All right. Have a good one, guys. And make sure you check out the contest, right? Put your entries in. And stay tuned for tonight's video. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.